Lesson 11 for June 6 to 12, The Bible and Prophecy, read by Dr. Percy Harrold. Wednesday, June 10, The Investigative Judgment. The prophetic outline studied this week has found overwhelming support among Protestant historicists since the Reformation. But it was not until the Millerite movement in the early 1800s that the 2,300 days and the investigative judgment were carefully reconsidered and studied. Look at the following chart. The chart consists of two columns. On the left, it's headed by Daniel 7, on the right by Daniel 8. Under Daniel 7, there's Babylon, the lion, but that's blank in Daniel 8 because this vision was during the time of Medo-Persia. The second under Daniel 7 is Medo-Persia, the bear. On the right is Medo-Persia, the ram. On the left, under Daniel 7, is Greece, the leopard. On the right is Greece, the he-goat. Under Daniel 7, there's pagan Rome, the fourth beast. Under Daniel 8, in the right, is pagan Rome. The horn moves horizontally. And the last line is papal Rome, the little horn. Under Daniel 7, and under Daniel 8, it's the papal Rome. The horn moves vertically. Question. Read Daniel 7, verses 9 to 14, and Daniel 8, verses 14 and 26. What is happening in heaven as depicted in these texts? Daniel 7, beginning at verse 9, I watched till thrones were put in place, and the Ancient of Days was seated. His garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head was like pure wool. His throne was a fiery flame, its wheels a burning fire. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. 1,000 thousands ministered to him. 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The court was seated, and the books were opened. I watched then because of the sound of the pompous words which the horn was speaking. I watched till the beast was slain, and its body destroyed and given to the burning flame. As for the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and a time. I was watching in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man, coming with the clouds of heaven. He came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. Then to him was given dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all peoples, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom the one which shall not be destroyed. And Daniel 8, verse 14, and he said to me, for 2,300 days, then the sanctuary shall be cleansed. Then Daniel 8, verse 26, and the vision of the evenings and mornings which was told is true. Therefore seal up the vision, for it refers to many days in the future. After the period of medieval persecution, which ended in 1798 with the capture and imprisonment of the Pope by Napoleon's General Berthier, that's referenced actually in Revelation 13:3, and I saw one of his heads as if it had been mortally wounded, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world marvelled and followed the beast. Daniel 7 and 8 speak of judgment. The judgment is to take place in heaven, where the court was seated, as it says in Daniel 7:10, and one like the Son of Man, coming with the clouds of heaven, came to the Ancient of Days in verse 13. This is a judgment scene that occurs after 1798 and before the second coming of Jesus. This judgment scene in Daniel 7 is directly parallel to the cleansing of the sanctuary in Daniel 8:14. They are talking about the same thing according to Daniel 8:14. The time of this cleansing of the sanctuary, which is Day of Atonement terminology, is 2,300 evening mornings or days. With the year-day principle, these days represent 2,300 years. The starting point of the 2,300 years is found in Daniel 9:24, in which the 70-week or 490-year prophecy is chatak or cut off from the 2,300-day vision. Let's read that in Daniel 9 and verse 24. 70 weeks are determined for your people and for your holy city, to finish the transgression, to make an end of sins, to make the reconciliation for iniquity, to bring in everlasting righteousness, to seal up vision and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy. In fact, many scholars correctly see the 2,300-day or year prophecy of Daniel 8:14 and the 70-week prophecy, 490 years, of Daniel 9:24-27 as two parts of one prophecy. The next verse in the 70-week prophecy, Daniel 9:25, gives the beginning of the time period, from the going forth of the command to restore and build Jerusalem. The date for this event is the 7th year of Artaxerxes the king, as we read in Ezra 7 verse 7, or 457 BC. Counting forward 2,300 years, we come to 1844, which is not long after 1798 and before the second coming of Jesus. This is when Jesus entered the Most Holy and began his work of intercession, of cleansing the heavenly sanctuary. And we'll see the chart in Friday's study.
Hi there. Thanks for watching this video on the Advent-band Ministries YouTube channel. Please subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to be alerted whenever we upload new videos. So, until we meet him in the clouds, may God continue to bless you.
This lesson was read by Dr. Percy Harrold for Christian Services for the Blind and Hearing Impaired, Christian Record Services for the Blind, the Sabbath School Department, and Hope Channel. You can also listen on the official Sabbath School 4 app and the Apple iTunes app, Sabbath School with Percy Harrold. Remember, God is always faithful.